Hey everybody, here we are at Canoe Landing Park in Toronto, Ontario. It's a gorgeous day today, and today I'm going to be showing you my 5 top exercises for developing lower limb strength, and we're going to be needing it to climb up Mount Kilimanjaro. My 5 top exercises for developing lower limb strength, they are targeting your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your glutes, and your gastrocs, which is the calf muscles. So these are super important, specifically the glutes, because we're going to be needing to have a lot of endurance on our climb up Kilimanjaro. And not only that, we're going to be having to stabilize a lot because we're going up uneven terrain, and these muscles are the big important stabilizers in order for us to do that. And if you guys want to get my comprehensive Kilimanjaro training plan, click on the right-hand corner of your screen right now to get it. The squat and the lunge I'm going to be demonstrating, but I'm also going to be showing some progressions of those exercises. Those exercises are very important in terms of developing strength in our quadriceps, hamstrings, but mostly our glutes. So our glutes are super important in terms of being able to extend our hips backwards. If we don't have that ability, then we really don't have a good ability to maintain upright posture. This is really important to avoid back injury, which we do not want to happen while we're doing a trek up a mountain like Kilimanjaro. If you look at animals that are not upright, they actually don't have good definition of their glutes at all because they're not needing the glutes to keep them up. But if you look at humans, we actually have good definition of our glutes, and for ones who train a lot, even great definition. So these two are great exercises to do in terms of developing good glute strength.
For our squat, start with standing shoulder width apart with your legs. Sink down as though you're sitting into a chair, but be careful not to let your knees cross your toes. Activate the glutes at the bottom and throughout, as well as at the top of the contraction. Keep going and perform about 10 to 20 repetitions of these as well. This progression is called the Sumo squat. Start by standing with your feet wider than shoulder width apart, pointed slightly outwards, and sink down again like you're sitting into a chair. This exercise works out the inner thigh muscles as well as the deep muscles of the glutes and is a great one for a squat progression. Let's start with the lunge. Stand with your feet spread apart with toes facing forward and with a clear front and back line for the front and back foot. Don't fall over like I almost just did. You should definitely be keeping the back as straight as possible and bend the knee as low as you can go comfortably, but if you can go down to about a 90-degree angle, that would be pretty ideal. Now, if you want to progress this exercise, make it a little bit more difficult and activate your glutes a little bit more, you can put one leg on a bench. This one is a little bit high for me, probably about half this height would be perfect, but you basically perform the lunge in the exact same way. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, and you're going to lift up the leg to at about 90 degrees of hip flexion. Perform either this one or the progression 10 to 20 times.
Now, if you want to really focus and hone in on the glute muscles, this is an exercise I do all the time. The glutes are obviously, they're part of your core, so super, super important. So you can focus on doing this using the glute bridge.
All right, so start with your knees in a bent position comfortably. Clench the glutes together and raise your body so your knees and your back form a straight line. Perform about 10 to 20 repetitions of this. Then for our progression, you want to do the exact same exercise and lift one leg at a time, keeping the pelvis level the entire time. Don't let it dip down. Keep the leg as straight as you can and keep that glute contraction held throughout.
Another exercise that I'm going to be incorporating into your Kilimanjaro strengthening routine, they're called box jumps. So this is a plyometric exercise. It involves the muscle going from a lengthened state to a shortened state very, very quickly, because we're basically going to be jumping from down to up on a box. So the reason why this is super important while doing a trek like Kilimanjaro is because there may be periods of time where the incline changes very rapidly. So this includes on the ascent, but also on the descent. So you need to be able to have explosiveness and power training to be able to prepare for intense changes like this. But if you're ready for it using exercises like this, you'll have no problem doing Kilimanjaro.
Remember, box jumps are slightly advanced, but they are going to be great to be developing control and power to be able to adapt to changes in your environment. Start with your knees slightly bent and power off, landing with both feet on a box, which is fairly stable, just like this bench is. And if you're very good, you have an audience come to congratulate you at the end.
All right, and the last exercise I'm going to be doing, they are called toe ups. So this can be done either with both legs or just one leg at a time, which is a little bit more advanced. So the reason why this is so important to do, especially when trekking up a mountain, is because ankle injuries are very common when doing climbs like this. And this exercise really focuses on the calf musculature. And not only that, it actually works the entire posterior chain. So that includes the calves, the glutes, and the hamstrings. And those muscles need to be really strong and really stable in order for us to prevent the potential of ankle sprains while doing Kilimanjaro.
Toe-ups are going to be great, remember, for protecting against ankle sprains because they're developing our calf muscles. Stand with both feet slightly off the edge of the stair. The front of the feet should be firmly placed on the stair, and you want to lower below the stair and then lift above. So the lowering phase is actually a stretch but also a strengthening exercise for the calf. It's called an eccentric contraction. And the opposite way, raising up, is your concentric contraction. To do the one-legged progression of this exercise, you want to wrap one foot around the other and do the exact same calf lower and calf raise.
So there you have it, guys. Those are your 5 top exercises for lower limb strengthening when preparing to do a climb like Kilimanjaro. So don't forget to get the comprehensive Kilimanjaro training plan that I've developed. It's going to make it really easy for you to train for this climb. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we're going to have a lot more stuff coming out and you don't want to miss out on what we have coming up next.